Well, we have registered for Heroic Anthem KVK in this season of Conquest, and our KVK starts in just under 2 days. In fact, we have found opponents. In this video, I'm going to talk about who we're facing, what we can expect in this KVK, what we need to do to get ready, and just sort of provide a general account update. So stick around. What's up, everybody? Psycho here with another Rise of Kingdoms video. We have entered the Season of Conquest Heroic Anthem KVK. It starts in just under 2 days. I think that means Marauders will start. I think, what is Marauders, like 2 days now? And then you've got some training, and then I think there's some Barbarian Forts. And then we will be entering the Lost Canyon, so I think, or the Lost Kingdom. So I think that'll be in like maybe 5-6 days, something like that. We will be entering Lost Kingdom. That will be a lot of fun. I'll try to record a lot of that stuff, upgrading crystal mines and things like that. But first, I want to talk about our opponents, which I'm pretty bad when it comes to knowing things about other kingdoms. I don't really pay much attention to that in this game. But it looks like a pretty balanced KVK. Some of my colleagues have done some of the analysis here. It looks like all four camps are pretty equally powered. I think Fire Camp has the most power. We might even be allied with somebody. I don't actually know for sure if any allies are confirmed at this point, but I do know we are in the Earth Camp. We are with 1142, which again, I know nothing about. So I don't really know much about these kingdoms except 2239. They were our opponents in KVK3. In fact, their side won the KVK3. But that's really all I know here. I just know I am really looking forward to fighting. I went back and looked because our KVK3 was such a snooze fest, and because we pushed off this KVK for so long, registering for Heroic Anthem so we could get commanders and things like that, get our accounts ready for Heroic Anthem KVK. I think the last time I did any serious fighting was nearly 6 months ago in KVK2. I'll put a card at the top where I show how we got a bunch of kills in that KVK, but it's been a long time since we've done any serious fighting, so I am really looking forward to doing some fighting. But I also want to go through and give a little bit of an account update, talk about where we are at, what kinds of things we need to do to get ready for the next KVK. And so the first thing I want to start with is our commanders. You can still see we've got some of these same commanders expertised. I have done a little work on my Saladin. He's now 5553, and I've got I'm close to 5554, and we're 83 sculptures away from expertising Saladin. And for the longest time, I thought I would be using XY Saladin in this KVK. That was always my plan, was to use XY Saladin as my cavalry pair. You can see my XY is still 5511. When the XY wheel comes around, I will be spinning for him. But then Nevsky came into the game and changed all of my plans. It was very clear I had to get Nevsky, so as you know, and I'll put a card at the top of the video where I expertise Nevsky. I think Nevsky is probably the strongest commander in the game right now, so I went ahead and already expertised him. And I will be running XY with Nevsky, so that leaves Saladin on the outs. Or does it? I decided just this past week that the way to go is to really get Saladin on the field with William. I think it's a very powerful march, and I already had William unlocked, but I did not have William upgraded. So before this week's Ark of Osiris match, I went ahead and put some Universal Commander sculptures into William. Like I said, when I get back to the cavalry wheel, my plan is to spin for XY to try to get him eventually expertise. So I'm waiting on that anyway. So I wasn't going to be able to get William into a usable spot for a long time unless I put universals into him. So I put a bunch of universals into William, and I totally botched it. I forgot to use the skill lock, and the very first skill I put in went into the 4th skill. Most people want to get William at 5551, which is what I was targeting. It went into the 4th skill, and I went, oh my god. And it was like 2 minutes before Ark of Osiris started, so I skill locked, maxed out the rest, and then in retrospect I realized, oh my god, I have like 10 skill resets. I could have just reset the thing and redone it, but again, because there was like 2 minutes before Ark of Osiris started and I was in a hurry, I wasn't really thinking clearly. I had just woken up to get ready for the match. So anyway, our William is now 5552, and is kind of begging you to be expertise, but that'll be some time down the road. So That means we've got XY Nevsky as one cavalry march, and as a second cavalry march, I will be running Saladin with William. So that's what we're looking at for a couple of marches in this KVK. So that's March 1, March 2. The next thing we're going to look at is obviously Guan Yu. Guan Yu is just a premier open field commander. And I'm going to be running this Guan Yu. Right now he's 5132. My plan on Guan Yu is to just sort of slowly level him up as the wheel comes around. I'm just not going to be in a big hurry. I'm not really interested in any other infantry commanders on the wheel right now. In fact, infantry are in kind of a weird spot, and hopefully I can put another video together talking about what's going on with infantry and how we kind of need to fix that pretty soon, or infantry players are going to be in a lot of trouble. But for the now, we'll be using Guan Yu, and I will be pairing him with Alexander the Great. For a long time, I thought I would be pairing Guan with Leo, and I do have Leo at 5511, so I could do that march if I want to. But I don't really find a way that I'm with 5 marches, maybe when I get to 6 marches, or maybe even if I get to 7 marches. I'm not even sure if I'll get to 7 marches in this KVK. Be able to put Guan with Leo and Alex with somebody else. I might be able to split them up. But for now, when I'm looking at 5 marches, I want to have Guan on the field and I want to have Alex on the field. And the best way to do that is to have Guan with Alex. So that will be one of my infantry marches. And then the 4th march I plan to have on the field this KVK is going to include YSG, but he's not going to be a primary. I do have all of my gear on him right now because of the way I'm using him. The plan there is to put YSG with, where is he on here, is to put him with Ramses. I could go Nebuchadnezzar, but the problem is I need to unlock Nebuchadnezzar and Artemisia both from the Legendary Tavern, and I'm not sure I'm just going to get both. So my plan right now, and we'll see how it goes when I start opening up things in the Legendary Tavern, and I'll try to record some of that and talk about that as well, is to get Ramses to 5551, put him in front of YSG to run a Ramses with YSG. You can see that my Ramses doesn't have any serious gear. In fact, I have to make a whole nother archer set of gear before this KVK starts. That is going to cost me, at least the target gear that I have in mind, is going to cost something like, let's see, what is it here? I have it up, about 350 legendary materials. Oh, well, maybe I won't make that one. Yeah, I think I'm not going to make that one. That's just too much. I'm going to make one that's about 230 legendary materials, 80 million gold to craft. So we've got a lot of crafting to do to craft this archer set for Ramses and YSG. And, you know, my plan originally was to spend that Ramses wheel, but then Nevsky came, and I thought, all right, I gotta focus on Nevsky, so I got Nevsky. When the archer wheel comes back around, I will eventually try to expertise Ramses, but I'll put some universals into him to get him to 5551, put him in front of YSG for this KVK, and get some gear on him. So that leaves me with a 4th, or rather my 5th march, which is also going to be an archer march. My plan there is to use Artemisia, who I have to unlock from the Legendary Tavern, and I have to put a ton of legendary commander sculptures into her, 690 in all likelihood, to expertise her. That is my plan. My plan is to pair her with Tamiris. I've been getting Tamiris through the daily special offer. I had some really good luck with the skills early on. I was like 5-1-1-3, and then it was 5-3-1-4, and now we haven't hit one for a while. So, or 5-2-1-4, something like that. So it's been a while, but well, look, we're getting close to getting a 5 on that 4th skill for Tamiris, and I'm just going to continue to level her up. It will be Artemisia with Tamiris. I think it's just a very powerful combo. So those will be the 5 marches I'll be using. Guan with Alex, XY with Nevsky, Saladin with William, YSG behind Ramses, so Ramses YSG, and Artemisia with Tamiris. Those will be the 5 marches. It's not the best set of 5 marches I think you could possibly put out there, but I think it's a very formidable set. I think my gear should be in pretty decent shape, especially once I craft another set of archer gear. Speaking of gear, I'll be using this set of gear on Guan Yu, which I think is not too bad. I do have a Ring of Doom. I'll put a card at the top of the video where I crafted that. Unfortunately, didn't get a special talent on it, but we do have a Ring of Doom. I may move that over to the XY Nevsky March, but this will probably be the infantry gear, something like this that I'll be using. For Nevsky, or sorry, for XY, this will be the Cav set of gear. I don't really anticipate making any changes here. That'll probably be the set of gear I run. For my second Cav March, I'm probably not going to do a lot here. It's pretty hard to invest in a whole nother set of Cav gear at the Legendary tier. That's just a lot of materials, but I will replace that halberd with the Heart of the Saint, the purple one. I'll special talent that. I've done the math to calculate what I need to do that, so I'll do that as well. And then lastly, for gear, what do we have? Oh, it's our archer gear. So this will be our premier archer set, will be this one here. I'll have a similar archer set. It probably won't be quite as strong as this one, but I'll have a similar archer set for my second archer march. So that is the target for 5 marches. Like I said, if we go to 6 marches, I've got a few options in mind. One possibility, if we go to 6 marches, is to get just simply put Richard on the field with Ethelfled. So my marches right now, I don't have an Ethelfled, and I do have an expertise Richard. Not crazy about Richard, but look, I've got some pretty decent gear I can use. I've also got this dagger that has to go on some march. So Richard Ethelfled will probably get into the mix as a 6th march. And if I do get to 7 marches, which I don't think I will this KVK, then I will split up Guan from Alex. I will put Guan with Leo, and I will put Alex with probably something like a Sun Tzu, which I'm not crazy about, but he does do AoE. So that will probably be 7 if I end up going to 7 marches this KVK. So that's what we're looking at right now. I do have a bunch of gold heads to invest. I can show you what those look like here. Just so you can see where we're sitting. We've got about 1,300 gold heads. Again, about 690 of those have to go into Artemisia, and then I'll put some into Ramses, and that's going to be kind of where I sit for a little bit. That'll leave me with around 400 gold heads, and the reason I kind of want to hold on to some right now, because I could start sticking those into places where I could use them, is when the next infantry commanders come, I've got a feeling that ROK is going to put something pretty strong in there, particularly for the open field. Something that can pair with Alex, or maybe something that can pair with Guan, right? So if you have Guan with Leo, your Alex can finally pair up in some place. So I've got a feeling something like that is coming on the infantry side. So I'm just holding off on those right now to see what the next infantry commander might look like. So that's what we're looking at in terms of, and here comes the verification. That's what we're looking at in terms of our commanders, and a little bit of what we're looking at in terms of the gear that we have. I mentioned that I do have to craft an archer set. The other thing we have going on is I need to craft a Mora's Web. So as you know, I like to do a lot of open field fighting. Mora's Web is really good in the open field. I do have the dagger, which is good in the open field, but I don't have a Mora's Web, and so we're going to need to craft that. I've been saving a ton of materials. I'm not sure if you really won't be able to see them all here, but let me jump over to my equipment where you can see that we've got quite a few materials here. In fact, I did the total. I have 348 total legendary materials right now. And as surprising as it may seem, that's actually not enough. I need to get 495 total to craft all the stuff I want to craft. I want to craft this archer set I mentioned. I want to craft Amora's Web. I want to craft the Heart of the Saint that I mentioned. And finally, I also want to craft a Horn of Fury. I really want to craft a Horn of Fury to put on that XY Nevsky. Possibly also with that Ring of Doom. I think that's going to make that one a very, very powerful march, which will actually free up my Guan to get things like a Silent Trial, and to use Guan and Alex in an, oddly enough, more of a support role. Could possibly even put the dagger on them. And that leaves Saladin and William to have some of the sort of typical Cav accessories, like your Delane's amulets and your Silent Trial or anything like that. So we've got a lot of options to go around with those accessories, but I'm gonna have to figure out what to do in those accessories, because again, if we have more marches, if we have 6 marches, we have 7 marches, figuring out where those accessories go best is going to be a critical issue. So that's where we're at right now. And one of the things I need to do, I mentioned a Richard Ethelfled, not really a great march, but one of the things you would probably prefer to have instead of that is a Trajan Ethelfled. And so if you are in Season of Conquest right now, you can see that we are on the leadership wheel. You can still spin for Nevsky. No use in doing that for me since I've already expertised him, but Trajan is a commander that I really like and a commander that I really want. So I'm going to be spinning the wheel here, see how we do. Okay, research speed-ups are probably the most worthless thing you can get, or at least for me anyway. Food is okay, fine. But really what we are looking for is a lot of Trajans, because eventually I'm going to want to replace that Richard with a Trajan Ethelfled. Trajan's really good in Canyon as well, and I would like to take my Constantine out of Canyon and go with the Trajan. So there's a fantastic spin where we got absolutely very little abuse, maybe some 15-hour speed ups. So not off to a great start here. Again, more research speed ups. This is a completely wreck of a wheel so far. Okay, there's our first Trajan sculpture. That's nice. There's 2. And okay, some gold. Gold is not bad. I'm going to need a lot of gold to do all this crafting. And of course, in Heroic Anthem, I plan to get some pretty big hospital bills. There's a Trajan, and there's a Universal. And with those, another Trajan, with those hospital bills, I'm going to need a lot of gold to pay that down. So, and another Universal. Okay, that's a very good spin. I will take that one. Let's just do at least that many every time. And this will be a very good investment. Training speedups are never that terrible. You're going to need those and need those all the time for new troops. Universal speedups are all right. And some gold. And okay, another wheel with no sculptures whatsoever. All right. Okay, let's take a look and see what we get here. There's a Trajan. That's pretty good. The 8 spot is always, it always feels like you're going to land on that 8 spot. And then now you get the building speedups. Let's see. So just 1 Trajan. Okay. And a lot of building speedups. Yeah, I think that's the most tilting one, is when it looks like, oh, it's going to stop on that 8 spot, but no. Building speedups. All right, we got a Trajan this round and some more Universals. And there's that great 8 hours times 4 building speed up. All right. So let's go here. And the other thing I have to remember to do here is I actually don't have Honda unlocked. So I'm going to be unlocking Honda at level 45 of this wheel. Okay, what did we get? 2 Trajans this time. That's okay. And I'm going to be doing that through the extra rewards here, which I'll show you here in a moment. So, oh, there's the 8 spot. That's what we're looking for. 8 spot. For Trajan. That's a big one. There's an extra Trajan there and a Universal. So we got 10 heads on that spin. That's fantastic. That's a really good spin. Super happy about that one. And let's spin, and let's not screw up the 45 thing here when we do this. So here we go. Another Trajan there and a bunch of stuff I don't really need that much of. Okay, Universal speed ups. All right. Let's go in here to the extra rewards. Let's claim this one, which is 5 more Trajan heads. And let's claim this one, which should be Universals. And we're not going to claim the 45. Instead, we're going to switch this over. Maybe. There we are. To Honda. And we're going to come in here and we're going to claim 10 Honda heads. That way I can unlock Honda. And I can get the Writer of History bundle. And now we're going to switch back to Trajan. And here we go. We're going to finish out our last 15 spins. And we'll see if we can actually put any more skills in. Another 8. Fantastic. So what are we sitting at? 9 on this one? That's awesome. That is great. And we've got 2 more shots at it. Oh, God, that was tempting. So close. All right, 1 Trajan there. Some training speed ups. Another Trajan. All right, and the building speed ups. Okay, and here are our last 5. Training speed ups. Trajan. Trajan, and stars. Okay, so overall, I think that actually was pretty good. We'll do more spinning tomorrow, which I probably won't record for this video, but let's jump into our commanders. We will summon Honda here in a little bit because I will buy that Writer of History bundle, and I don't think you really want to see me buy stuff on stream. Okay, so here's the skills for Trajan, and I'm pretty sure we want to just go in order. Yeah. So we definitely want to remember to skill lock, friends. Don't do like I did with William. Let's go ahead and skill lock that, and we're gonna add one more to our Trajan. So our Trajan now 5-2. It's gonna be a while. It's a long-term project to get Trajan in good enough shape to use. I think at 5-5-5-1, I can at least start to use him in Canyon. Yeah, I mean, all of his skills are really good. This one's actually pretty important because he can get beat up pretty early, and the whole idea is to build up these stacks of defense, which make him really tanky, and his expertise is actually pretty decent as well. So you really do want to get him expertise, but I think at 5-5-5-1 he may be usable. Okay, so that's really it. That's where we're at on this account. That is where we're at today and what we're looking forward to in Heroic Anthem. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. Looking forward to getting back on the battlefield. If you like this video, if you like getting these account updates, if you like hearing our plans for the next KVK, or if you're just excited for this Heroic Anthem KVK as I am, leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks so much for coming by, everybody. Bye-bye.